Coming up tonight on YCU, a standoff in Claremont ended peacefully after 3 hours of negotiating by the Claremont police. Around 50 dead pine trees will be removed from Newport this week. And we have hockey highlights from the Hartford versus Brattleboro game. For more news, sports, and weather, stay tuned. It's time for YCU, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth-Lake Sunapee region and central Vermont. News, sports, weather, public affairs, and all that's happening in our area. The news on YCU, your local view.
Hello and welcome to YCU. I'm David Carmichael. Just before noon on Friday, Claremont Police assisted New Hampshire parole and probation officers at Anthony Jarvis's home at 10 Province Avenue in Claremont. Jarvis fled into the residence, locking the door behind him, and made threatening statements. Neighboring homes on the street were evacuated for safety, and New Hampshire State Police Special Weapons and Tactics team was on standby. Police were able to make contact with Jarvis on a cell phone, and after 3 hours, he came out peacefully. Jarvis is being held at the Sullivan County House of Corrections. A report from the White House says that education and the military could see some of the biggest reductions in Vermont and New Hampshire if automatic cuts to the federal budget take hold this week. The report says about $1.1 million in funding would be cut from education in Vermont and about $1.4 million for about 30 teachers, aides, and staff who help with children with disabilities. The White House compiled the numbers from federal agencies and its own budget office as it seeks to avoid the impending economic fallout. In New Hampshire, about $1 million will be cut from funding to education. The numbers are based only on the $85 billion in cuts for this fiscal year, from March to September, that would take into effect on Friday. The New Hampshire Department of Transportation is planning to remove 50 dead pine trees in Newport as part of the cleanup effort. The work is scheduled to start today and will take 3 or 4 days to complete. The removal requires the closing of Corbin Road daily from 7 to 5 p.m. Traffic will be rerouted around the work area via Oak Street. A Vermont House committee has killed legislation that would have imposed a new tax on sugary soft drinks and used the money to pay for public health education and to help smooth the transition to the healthcare overhaul. The House panel voted 5-5 on the measure. The tied vote killed the bill the committee had spent drafting for weeks. The vote appears to mean that there won't be a new tax on sugary sweetened beverages. The New Hampshire State House will once again be debating whether women should be required to wait 24 hours before getting an abortion. The House Judiciary Committee is recommending the House to vote Wednesday to kill a bill that would require a woman's doctor to provide her with certain information about the risk and alternatives to the procedure. Governor Peter Shumlin is heading to Washington today to talk about dyslexia as a learning disability, and he'll be speaking from personal experience. He struggled with the condition as a child. His talk is being hosted by a group campaigning to ensure all children can read by the end of the 3rd grade. For these stories and more, be sure to like our Facebook page and check out our website at ycunow.com. After the break, the general manager of the New London Inn tells us all about this historic hotel.
The YCU News continues in a moment.